Welcome to day 2 of the NASA Space Apps Collective Genius Summit. It is so wonderful to see all of you here today. My name is Marie Mimiaga, and I'm a member of the NASA Space Apps Collective team. And boy, do we have an exciting program ahead of us today. But before we get into it, I want to take a moment to orient us to why we're all here. Yesterday was absolutely incredible. Thank you to everyone who was able to join us. We heard from amazing speakers from the global space community. We kicked off with Tom Whitmire, the advisor for Booz Allen Hamilton, who spent decades at NASA. He was so inspiring and provided a beautiful keynote for our entire audience. Next, we talked about the challenges in combining and distributing data in the modern age and how Mr. Isaacman and blockchain technology can help NASA be a part of the solution. Then NASA subject matter experts joined us for a thrilling panel. They discussed innovative ways for NASA to use data from asteroids to missions to here on Earth. And they talked about NASA's 31 active citizen science projects. We also discussed how everyday people can contribute by collecting data in challenging places, including Antarctica. We surfaced ways that everyone can contribute to NASA data, including the Globe Observer app, which you'll get a chance to practice with later today. Then we heard from 4 members of this year's collective cohort, Manuel, Advita, Carly, and Simone, who shared how they engage with NASA open data in their local communities. Day 1 then concluded with a panel from Dr. Merle Ballard and Dr. Emily Silik-Glassman to discuss the complex interplay between scientific systems. These experts shared how vital it is for us to listen and to get community members involved into our design processes from the very beginning. And we're so grateful to hear from all of these speakers in support of our NASA Space Apps Collective theme this year. Empowering change through science and community action. And as you know, the NASA Space Apps Collective is an expansion of our annual hackathon, the NASA Space Apps Challenge. But the collective builds capacity and skills for the NASA Space Apps community and the general public. Through year-round communications, workshops, and the Collective Genius Summit that you're all participating in today, you get to learn from each other as well as from NASA and space agency subject matter experts. And one of my favorite parts of the collective is that with this knowledge, you'll be empowered to use NASA data to advance NASA mission priorities and to make a difference both locally and globally. And as we've done throughout the Collective Genius Summit, we want to highlight some of this year's cohort who are doing just that. They're driving change in their local communities. So to do so, I want to invite Cynthia, the Global Community Manager for the Collective, to spotlight one of our collective cohort members, Aridam. Cynthia?
Thanks, Marie. I am so excited for day 2 of spotlighting members of the collective cohort who are applying open science and innovation to address global challenges. Today, we're highlighting another incredible individual who is using earth science, satellite imagery, and advanced analytics to drive change in resource monitoring and sustainability. Arundam is working at the intersection of earth science, satellite data, and resource management to develop solutions for safer and more sustainable mining practices. As a co-founder and CTO of Aqua, he is focused on using space technology to transform mining operations, ensuring better safety and resource monitoring through satellite imagery and advanced analytics. His work is a great example of how space-based solutions can drive innovation in terrestrial industries. It's inspiring to see how these collective members like Arundam are leveraging space technology for sustainable solutions right here on Earth. His work really highlights how open data and interdisciplinary collaboration can lead to industry-wide advancements. With that, I'll pass it back to you, Marie.
Thank you, Cynthia. Wow, it's so inspiring to hear his story. And we're so thrilled to have our entire cohort here with us. Let's take a look alongside them at the snapshot of the schedule for today. So, we'll begin with an exciting panel featuring representatives from space agencies from around the world, and this will be moderated by NASA's own Dr. Mark Clampin. Then, you will all have two choices for engagement. You can join NASA's RSET for a workshop that teaches us to leverage some of their open source data sets, or even join your peers in a connection session for networking and building relationships. After a break, then we'll feature a panel of early career NASA scientists who will share their pathways to starting a career at NASA. After the panel, you will again have the option to join a workshop, but this time with NASA's GLOBE program to learn how to use their Globe Observer app and their open source data sets. For those who want more peer-to-peer networking, we'll have an additional connection session at this time as well. And then our program concludes with closing remarks and a final highlight of our collective cohort. Throughout the day, the Summit Navigator will be sharing resources and best practices in the chat. So please keep your eyes there for additional content. All right, I'm ready. How about you all? Let's go ahead and warm up by getting to know each other and testing out our WebEx webinar capabilities. So in the chat, type one word that describes your energy level as we start day 2 of the Collective Genius Summit. Folks are ready. I love it. Ecstatic, enthusiastic, curious. Ooh, I like that one. Excited, powerful, amazing. I think you all are ready. I love the energy. All right, now let's take a moment to understand who's in the room. So we're going to use a platform that's called Mentimeter. The link is in the chat for Mentimeter, and you can also use this QR code right here on the screen. And when you scan the QR code or access the link, you're going to see questions. And then in real time, we're going to see your collective answers come through. So let's start off with our first question. How many sessions of the Collective Genius Summit have you attended so far? Take a moment, get logged in to menti.com, enter the code, or access it through the QR code here. Again, the first question is, how many sessions of the Collective Genius Summit have you attended so far? Amazing. Wow, some of you have even attended all of them. That's incredible. Welcome to those just joining us for the first time. You're in for a treat today. The programming is going to be amazing. All right. The next question is, in 1 to 3 words, please describe your favorite session so far. What words are coming to mind? Special, enlightening, astronomy, blockchain, data management, indigenous science. I love it. Keep them coming. All right. Next question is, where are you joining us from today? So in order to answer this question, you can use the pin on image feature in Mentimeter. Show us where you're joining us today. Where in the world are you located? Got folks in North America, South America, Africa, all throughout Asia and Europe. That truly is what makes our community so special, that we have folks around the entire globe. Thanks for joining us, no matter where you're calling in from. We're so happy that you're here with us today. The next question is, what career level do you consider yourself to be? Tell us a little bit about your experience. Where are you in your career? Are you just starting out? Are you a student? Are you maybe in graduate school? Just kicking off your career, entry level, perhaps intermediate or mid-level, even senior level? Amazing. We have people in all levels of their career joining us today. And I will say that regardless of what career level you're in and what experiences you've had so far in your career, we know that you are going to be able to gain valuable insights during today's panel and throughout the workshops today. So before we invite our panelists up, just a reminder of the technology that we'll be using. So first is the chat. You all have already used that today. You can use the chat for comments, notes, reflections, sharing things that resonate with you. Tell us how the content is resonating and what you think. Next, you can use the emojis in this system. So if a speaker says something that you're really inspired by or excited about, you can use the emojis to indicate your reactions. And lastly, our Q&A, our question and answer feature. So if you have questions for the speakers during their talks, please use the Q&A function in WebEx. All right, let's kick off. We have a panel today on global horizons, perspectives in space exploration with speakers from space agencies from around the world. We are joined today by Dr. Aline Veloso, Deputy Director of Strategic Intelligence and New Business at the Brazilian Space Agency. Next, we have engineer Muneera Almalki, Senior Space Engineer at the Kingdom of Bahrain National Space Agency. And lastly, we have Miss Leago Takalani, and she is the engineer at the South African National Space Agency. Finally, the conversation will be moderated by Dr. Mark Clampin, Acting Deputy Associate Administrator for the Science Mission Directorate at NASA headquarters. And with that, I'd like to welcome our panelists to the stage and pass the microphone to Dr. Mark Clampin. Mark, over to you.
Okay, thank you, Marie. I really appreciate the introductions. I'm really excited to be here today to speak to everybody at the NASA Space Apps Collective. And without further ado, because I know you really want to hear from our panelists, let's get started. So what I'm going to do first is ask each of the panelists to introduce themselves and then tell them or tell us what their particular agency has been doing and what's coming up in 2025. So why don't we start with let's start with Aline at the Brazilian Space Agency. Dr. Veloso, please.
Hello, everyone. I'm Aline Veloso from Brazilian Space Agency. I have a PhD in physics, and I'm working in Brazilian Space Agency since 2016. I'm a coordinator of competence and technology development. And for the next years, we in Brazilian Space Agency, we are working with some collaboration for satellites. For example, Sabiamá satellite is for a sensor remote to look for our oceans. So it's a satellite we work with Argentina. Cibers is another imaging satellite for weather. We are working together with China for these satellites. And for 2025, we will have more big expectation about our launch center, Alcântara launch center here in Brazil. We have this year in April a meeting for the BRICS in Brazil too. We'll be organized this meeting for the space agencies from the BRICS. And for we have so many things to going on. So for education, next week we are open free classes for in our web platform for educational. So that's it. I think we can talk more during today's meeting.
Thank you. So that's really exciting introduction. Why don't we hear from Dr. Takalani at the South African National Space Agency next?
Good afternoon. I'm Leago Takalani, not doctor yet, Dr. Clampin. But yeah, from my side, I'm an engineer by profession, and I'm the executive director for space engineering. So at the space agency, my directorate is responsible for all our satellite build missions, all our infrastructure that we use for satellite build testing support, such as assembly, integration, and testing. Just briefly, in terms of the South African National Space Agency, our mandate, first and foremost, is to be the authority for all space-related activities in South Africa. We are under the Department of Science, Technology and Innovation as our shareholder, as a state agency. There's many exciting things that are currently happening at the space agency. Just briefly, we have the largest ground station in the continent. Africa is quite a big continent, and we are hosting a number of customers, including NASA, including other customers such as ESA. And we are really excited about the growth of, for example, on our ground segment, we are also now working on the support for the Lunar Research Space Mission. We have infrastructure that we are building in the Western Cape. Those of you who know the African geography, is right at the tip of the African continent. To support all the International Lunar Research Station missions. Then on the satellite build program, we currently have a very vibrant and active satellite program. South Africa has launched a couple of satellites in the last few years, including nano satellite, which are more for capacity building. But over and above that, we have a big focus on Earth observation satellites because of the need. Africa is such a large continent, and in order to solve some of the challenges we have in agriculture, in health, as well as safety and security, Earth observation satellites are really critical for us. So we have currently, in the next year, we will be completing our modernization of the assembly integration test facility, which is based in Western Cape. And in 2026, we are looking at completing our mission for launching another Earth observation satellite, which will be used for all the areas that I've spoken about. So many things happening in the Southern Hemisphere. At the same time, the Space Agency has also been designated as the space weather facility for our region. We have a space weather monitoring center also in the Western Cape. So this is really exciting for us, and we look forward to taking young people with us. I saw the cohort that's participating here has quite a beautiful, diverse mix of young and also professionals, highly experienced. So that is us on the South African National Space Agency. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And I was actually very happy to visit South Africa last year and talk to your space agency. So that was a lot of fun, and we got to see some of the ground stations that bring down NASA data as well. So thank you. Okay, let's switch to Dr. Almalki from the National Space Science Agency in Bahrain.
Thank you very much. I'm as well not yet a doctor, but hopefully one day soon. Basically, I'm Muneera Jasim Almalki. I'm a senior engineer at the National Space Science Agency. And usually what my work that I do on a daily basis is I work at the satellite design department. But I'm also excited about being a member of the event committee, which we try to outreach to the public. So basically in 2025, we are reaching a new height, we can say, as Al-Mundhir, the first Bahraini built satellite is set to launch this month. Al-Mundhir satellite is an exciting project developed by the National Space Science Agency of Bahrain. It plays an important role in Bahrain growing space capabilities, and it's also contribute to the national space research and technological advancements as well. The satellite is a 3U. It is designed to enhance the Bahrain space infrastructure and provide a valuable insight into Earth observation. Basically, in brief and simple words, the main purpose of Al-Mundhir is to empower innovation and build national expertise in space technology. It is equipped with a camera that captures a medium resolution optical images of Bahrain and providing an important data of monitoring in the environment and urban development. So, and also one of its standout features, it's the AI-based onboard satellite image analysis, which allow for real-time processing and interpretation of images directly on the satellite.
Thank you. So let's start the panel discussion. So one of my jobs at NASA as the acting associate administrator for science is to make sure not only that we execute our missions and that they produce good science, but also about talking to the public about what we're doing and why we're doing it. And I'm interested in hearing the panel's perspectives on how their respective agencies engage with the public and how do your citizens plug into the great work that your agencies are doing. So who wants to start?
Yes, I can start. So here in Brazil, we doing a project with for outreach or space educational. I coordinate some of those programs, and we interact a lot with social media here, with the public in general, but we have some specific program for students at school and at universities, such a space technological center that we run for students from middle um, middle and high school. They visit our center for one day. It's like a space camp, but it's one day. So they visit over there. They have opportunity to learn about space, astronomy, about satellites, rockets, all technologies involving the space, and how this can be used for helping our societies. This center is in Natal, is a city, a beautiful city in Brazil with beautiful beaches, and we receive these schools from one day. We have another project we run with the universities around Brazil, such programs called Girls in Space, that we motivate girls to go for space fields, study, and doing projects in the school. And so they learn how to use some data, satellite data, and how to connect this with their lives. We are in global program since 2015, so we have more than 300 schools in the global program, so they can learn about the environment and collect data for the environment to understand how they can make your life better, understand how these this impact the environment and the environment impact his life. We have another program for motivating about STEAM. They call STEAM 2D. Is a program for school too. We run with a institution for space in Brazil, so students can learn about science, technology, engineering, arts, math, manufacturing, design. And in these years, we start another program with the University of Brasilia for electric propulsion. This project is with grad and undergrad students, but also you take this the area for the team from space to move some activity in schools at schools as well. So we try to do close with school and university to be disconnected with the society, and also use our technology with social media. We have an educational platform for online classes to talk with different majors, but all together in space, like space law and satellites, astronomy, all activity for educational online. So that's some of those activities we're doing in Brazil to connect the society and the space and how space can make their life better.
That's great. Either of our other panelists have something they want to add to that? Dr. Takalani?
Okay, let me go for it. It looks like
Yeah.
going from south to south, Brazil to South Africa. It's fine. Yeah. So I think, yeah, our counterparts from Brazil have mentioned quite an important point around the education, especially around the younger generation, and also collaboration with the universities. So in terms of where we are, the Space Agency also falls under the Ministry of Science, Technology and Innovation, which is also looking at higher education. So we have very good initiatives with the universities, and we've seen some good successful projects from some of the university programs. For example, we have in one of our provinces, which is called KwaZulu-Natal, where we have a sounding rocket program that was built by students from mechanical engineering, aeronautical engineering. And with that type of program, we've seen an excitement amongst, the young people coming into the university stream to really be excited about the space industry, the various ecosystem of the space industry, which is your upstream, your downstream, as well as your supporting infrastructure. But as recently as in the last few months last year, we had an outreach program where we took, for example, a number of students from elementary to conferences that we go to. For example, we had a nanosatellite symposium. So we sponsored some of those young people because we know some of the young people, they come from challenging backgrounds, and we need to provide that support to make space accessible so that it's not an elite work or profession, but to inspire hope that it's accessible to everyone. Now, in terms of the other programs that we do, in terms of reaching out to the communities, where our facilities are in the precinct of communities around us, we've created an open channel to communicate with those communities, to tell them what we are doing. For example, in the Western Cape, where we have our assembly integration test facility that we are modernizing, there's a community from the Khoisan indigenous group And we take this very seriously to bring our communities with us, where even the CEO and myself, we went to engage with the community to talk about the space program, what we are doing, the projects that we are doing, what kind of skills we need, so that we can have a joint program with the community on how to empower the community around our facilities to be the first port of call when it comes to employment opportunities. So those are some of the things that we are engaging on. And most of all, I mean, capacity building is key. I think our colleagues from Brazil also mentioned that we use these programs in as much as we have objectives to complete missions, to ensure that our infrastructure supports the vision of the country and also our continent. At the same time, we are focused on also ensuring that we also build research capacity within the scope of our work. So we have a telescope project, which is called the Square Kilometer Array Project, where we are looking at scientific missions, but at the same time, we're also building capacity on the engineering side. So a lot of things happening within our hemisphere. But all in all, we also work with other space agencies within the continent of Africa so that we don't duplicate efforts, because that's the only way we can realize maximum value in terms of every dollar we deploy into our initiatives. So we work also with other member states around the region, even in the other continents as well. Thank you.
Thank you. And Dr. Almalki?
Yeah, sure. So for the National Space Science Agency, Bahrain usually engages with public through a wide range of initiatives that is designed to increase awareness and encourage involvement in the space science. So a key focus is educational outreach. The NSSA partnered with around 542 schools and universities to inspire young minds. And by saying 542 schools, since we are a small country, we are an island, we had partnered with all the schools through the Ministry of Education. And the purpose in that is to inspire young minds and as well to spark interest in space science and its technology. The agencies host free workshops, events, and webinars. Also invested in a website that is designed in a way to convey a clear message in a simple language to a diverse audience of different educational backgrounds, and all of these are excellent opportunities for the public to deepen their strength in space exploration. In addition, NSSA also, let's say, played a crucial role in offering career preparation programs, internships, partnerships, and such as so on. The NSSA also actively sponsors and organizes hackathons, regional events such as the Middle Eastern Space Generation Workshop in collaboration with the AIF, the Space Apps Challenges, which had been running for years, and we have a lot of attendees that are willing to participate. These events encourage collaboration, innovation, and we can see that we had let's say a space industry network within our space industry, and this is what we have been doing to reach the public.
Thank you. So, one common theme I'm hearing here is the importance of capacity building. And I'm interested in what skills you foresee being in high demand over the next years for those who are really interested in pursuing careers in the space industry or the space and, the related science industry. Somebody want
Perhaps
to
I could start. Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So in our field, what we are seeing is that the system engineering expertise are becoming quite critical, especially if we're focusing also on satellite build missions, as well as program management. What I mean by that is, the art of running multiple projects, which is quite a niche skill, especially in our particular field. You get people that are really good at running one project, but a portfolio of programs, if we are doing multiple satellite build missions, that's a skill I think is in high demand in our area. That's on the upstream side, especially on building satellites, building satellite build missions. Now, on the downstream side, what is also equally critical is the ability to convert the capability we build on the upstream in terms of satellite capability into applications, which is why I think space apps is quite a critical instrument towards bringing that awareness. So the value of the data we collect and have from the missions that we are doing is only as useful as having the capability or the skills to be able to analyze the data, your data scientists, someone that can be able to package that data into decision support tools that can be used for managing various challenges we have in society, such as adverse weather conditions, human settlements in our case. So data scientists' ability to manage big data, very critical as well, and AI in the context of enabling decision support tools from an autonomous point of view. So I think space weather forecasting is a niche area. I mean, we've built a lot of capacity around your conventional weather forecasting, but when you look at space weather forecasting, those are some of the niche areas that are quite critical for where we are going in terms of the vision that we have. Yeah, I would be keen to hear from the other colleagues and other regions where are the areas where they see an area of growth.
So, Dr. Veloso, would you like to?
Yes, yes. Yeah, I believe that the think about technology in space is really important for us, our area, but also I think space is too open for many fields. So you can think if you really like space, you can enjoy our area, let's see. Yeah, because we have like space law, and you have to build capacity to connect different countries to build something great for the world. We in Brazil we are think about space farm, because if you wanna play, if we like a world plan to go to the moon or to Mars, you have to think how to grow foods over there. So is ability we can think you can enjoy for the space. If you are in medicine, you can think about how can make your body better to be in space, to fly across the space. So I think many fields can be enjoy the space area. But I think one skill I think is really important is to be easy to communicate with each other. So in Brazil, we speak Portuguese, so speak English or international language help a lot. And the ability to work together. So I think this is a skill everyone have to be in the space, because alone you can do anything, but together we are strong and can build beautiful things.
Thank you. And Dr. Almalki, do you want to comment?
Sure, that was great from Dr. Veloso. I actually agree with her that also we learned from Space App is that space is for all ages and all of different backgrounds. So I actually agree with it. However, my answer would be a bit rational, and I believe that the space industry will increasingly be demanded and will have a blend of technical and multidisciplinary skills. So However, the key areas include engineering, especially aerospace systems and robotics engineering, due to the growing needs of the, let's say, advancing spacecraft, satellites, and exploration technologies in outer space. Also, we believe that the future sciences such as data science, AI, machine learning, etc., will be initial for analyzing the vast amount of data generated by the space missions, satellites, and Earth observation. Also, software development and cybersecurity will also be in high demand to support the increasingly complex space systems and ensure the security of the space-based infrastructure and its assets as well. Also, despite the technical side, the other skills such as the project management, teamwork, collaboration, leadership, these skills will be crucial as space projects become more global and multidisciplined and diverse. It is very important to have. So, for example, a professional might work on a global satellite constellation, which require a cross-border coordination and technical experience. So ultimately, we can say from all of the skills that I said, the most important skill is the STEM that we can teach the children since young age up to the highest level of education that will bring creativity and as well the global collaboration in the space industry.
Thank you. So before we go to the Q&A session, I'm going to ask one last question. And I'm really excited because I'm out in California today and we're hoping to launch NASA's next science mission, which is SPHERE-X and Punch. We're actually flying 2 missions on the same launch and trying to get the best deal for our investments. So I'm interested to hear from the panel, what scientific advancements are you excited about, either within your agency or things that you're seeing happening across the globe? And Dr. Almalki, why don't we start with you first, since
Sure.
we changed the order for the last question.
Sure. I am particularly excited about the advancement in space exploration and satellite technology as a whole. However, globally, the push of Mars exploration with missions like NASA Artemis program, which opens doors for new frontiers for human exploration and the potential for future lunar bases. I would say, however, in the regional, that the advancement that we are excited about is the growing interest in adopting and analyzing Earth observation data using future sciences such as AI, machine learning, etc., and to monitor environmental changes and improve the agriculture field that we have in our deserted region. So these advancements are not only advancing in space technology, we believe that they create opportunities to apply space technologies on our everyday life, making them both thrilling and highly impactful on the national, regional, and international level as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. Who wants to go next? Okay,
okay, can be me.
Go ahead. Yeah.
Okay, so for about the expectation about the new technology, so I'm really excited about use space for benefits of the humankind. So about the Earth observation to prevent the natural disaster in a quickly way, efficiently way. Last year we have a big disaster here in Brazil, in the south of Brazil. So use images from space to help a lot in these situations. And also about technology you can use in the space, such as space agriculture, space farm. Because if you be able to grow food in the moon on Mars, we can improve our capacity to grow food in the world too, in different weather or situation we can be in the future.
Thanks. And Dr. Takalani?
Very exciting areas. I'll just add 3 dimensions to this. I think space exploration really is, in our time, I think is one of the cutting edge areas that we are fortunate to live through at this point in time. I mean, if we look at where space started and the ambitions to go into space was not because it's easy. It's because we can challenge ourselves to do even the difficult things. I think that's when, during Kennedy's time, this was one of his philosophy, that we are not doing it because it's easy, but space missions and also the scientific challenge before us opens up new doors for other disciplines. The innovation that comes out from these new space science missions is applied even in the technology that we are using today. So I would say that space exploration is really quite an exciting area of interest. And at the same time, space travel, because looking at life outside of Earth, what are the possibilities can spear off also other scientific innovations that we may not even see during our lifetime, but the next generation that's coming. Or on this side of the continent, I think we are really having aspirations to also have an opportunity to send astronauts, or some of our have an astronaut program to send to space station missions. I think the ISS also now coming to its full circle of the end of its life. There's new space station missions. So that also opens up an opportunity for other areas such as space medicine that you spoke about. So those 3 areas, I think, really not only challenge us from a space thought leadership, but also creates an opportunity for new capabilities that will be exploited in the future that we may not even imagine today. Over and above that, I think the sustainability of space is a niche area that all of us as a global community really will need to focus on, such as how do we ensure that this finite resource of space that belongs to all of us as a global community, how do we look after it so that it's sustainable, and ensure that we do not, through positive intended objectives, we end up with unintended consequences that will actually risk our ventures in the future, such as space debris mitigation. So those areas are really aspects of our space resources being sustainable in the future. Yeah.
Great, thank you. And I'm going to hand back to Marie now for the question and answer session. Marie.
Thank you so much, Dr. Clampin, and thank you to all of our panelists. As you all can see, our participants are thrilled to be hearing from you today. And the question and answer section of our WebEx is very active right now. A lot of participants are really interested in knowing how they can get involved in their local communities, specifically in Brazil. So I guess this question is more for Ms. Veloso. For those that are local to Brazil, we have one participant actually from Rio, and they're looking to understand what programs in Brazil can they apply to or be a part of as a public citizen.
That's great. So you can take a look in our webpage. We have so many programs for science citizen and educational outreach. One of them is the Global Programs. It's an international program, and then to collect data, environment data. And also we have an educational platform for free classes. And next Monday we gonna open 18 courses for space fields for different areas. Some small satellites, astronomy, space law, very are 18 classes over there. It's free, it's open, everyone can go. It's in Portuguese, but everyone can use a tool to translate, so it's open for everyone to enjoy these classes. So just contact us. I write down here in the chat our email, so you can write and we can give a direction how to be in the space area.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for sharing that resource with our participants. This next question is actually for you, Dr. Clampin. So
Okay.
given your background, I'm interested to hear about what scientific advancements are on the bleeding edge of astrophysics. Our participants would love to hear more about your work.
So my area of expertise is studying planets around other stars. And I think as we look to the next couple of years, the James Webb Space Telescope is going to continue to make new discoveries in actually not just studying planets around other stars, but really starting to understand what's going on in their atmospheres. What is the chemical composition of planets around other stars? And one of the things that another NASA mission called TESS, the Transiting Exoplanet Survey Satellite, told us is that there are lots and lots of planetary systems out there. And we get an opportunity to really compare how all of these exoplanets and the systems that they're in compare to our own solar system. And this is kind of a key step on the way to understanding, you know, our own place in the universe and whether there is life out there in the universe. And in the very long term, a couple of years ago, when I was director of astrophysics, I started a program called the Habitable Worlds Observatory, which will be NASA's next big astrophysics flagship mission. And that mission is actually designed to go and image Earth-like planets around other stars and then study their atmospheres to see if there's evidence of life. But we have a lot going on. As I said, you know, tomorrow, he said with fingers crossed, we will be launching SphereX, which is a Explorer mission. And SphereX is going to conduct a spectroscopic survey of the whole sky in the near infrared. So you can think of this as multiple colors that, you know, basically break down different parts of the spectrum. And, you know, we're trying to understand what happened in the very early universe, you know, in a period called inflation with SphereX. We'll also be looking for ices in areas where stars and planets are being formed. So we have a lot going on. And, you know, we also have a large portfolio of operating missions like Hubble and Chandra, and they are all always, you know, studying new areas of science, and those are proposed each year by scientists, you know, across our partnerships. And the great thing is that that data is all open. So certainly for a couple of our missions, there's a proprietary period of a year, but after that, the science is all open and available for study.
Thank you so much, Dr. Clampin. We're all crossing our fingers for you.
Thank you.
Wonderful. Yes. All right. Well, at this time, we will conclude our panel, but I do want to give a huge round of gratitude to all of our panelists and our moderator, Dr. Clampin. So please use the emojis and show your enthusiasm and gratitude for these incredible international leaders, Dr. Aline Veloso, engineer Muneera Almalki, and Miss Leago Takalani. Incredible. It was so wonderful to hear your stories. We have nearly 100 participants right now showing their gratitude in the chat, asking additional questions. And showing their enthusiasm through emojis. So thank you so much for attending here today, sharing your stories, and encouraging the global collaboration that we're all aiming to see. I would like at this time to bring back Mentimeter for all of us, that helpful tool that we used in the beginning of the session, and close out with a bit of reflection. So if you're just joining us, please use the Menti link here shown on the screen, menti.com, and enter the code 8748-4870, or you can use the QR code here on the screen. And what we'd love to hear from you is, what is one word that describes the gratitude that you have for these panelists? What are you thinking about now? What's resonating with you? What new ideas do you have? So just share a bit of a thank you or a piece of gratitude or reflection here in the Mentimeter. Our panelists are incredibly passionate. The participants are calling you space heroes. I love that. After hearing from you, they're inspired to learn what's possible. They're having feelings of hopefulness for our future after hearing from you today and hearing what your agencies are all actively working on to contribute to our global community. Honor. They're impressed by your humbleness, your professionalness. A lot of words resonating about the future of our global community. The possibilities. I love it. Well, we are so honored and grateful to have shared this virtual space with you all today. One more virtual round of applause for our incredible panelists and our moderator, Dr. Mark Clampin. Thank you so much for spending your day with us. At this time, I want to encourage you to take advantage of all of the resources and the great tips that our panelists gave us today. They shared a lot of relevant resources, and so our summit navigator is going to be sharing those in the chat so that you can take action in your communities. So as these words of gratitude continue to come through, I want to tell you a little bit more about what's next. So next up, you get to choose your own adventure. You can stay in this space for the RSET workshop, so the Applied Remote Sensing Training Program workshop, and that starts at 11:30 a.m. Eastern Time or 4:30 p.m. UTC. And during this time, we are going to get hands-on practice using RSET's satellite-generated open data. That is going to be an incredible workshop, so highly encourage you to attend that. You also have another option. You can join Orbiting Ideas Connection session with other summit attendees. So this is a networking session, and it really provides you as a participant with an opportunity to connect on topics related to education, data literacy, disaster management, technological innovation, space data, AI. That was a big topic from yesterday. So if you're eager to connect with other participants at the Collective Genius Summit, this is the session for you. This one also starts at 11:30 a.m. Eastern Time or 4:30 p.m. UTC. And you can access it using the link that our navigator has shared in the chat. So for now, we encourage you to take a break. You have 30 minutes to rest up, stand up, stretch, get a glass of water, and we'll begin at 30 past the hour. But before you go on break, We'd really appreciate it if you can complete the WebEx poll in the right side of your screen or in the chat window. We'd love to hear from you. We want to hear your feedback and hear what you thought about our incredible panel of international space agencies. So thank you all, collective community. It was wonderful spending this time with you, and we'll see you soon.